And I question the integrity of the states. Because you say, I'm owing $70 million. For 8 years I've been governor, I'm still owing $70 million, and I've been paying servicing with about 75 million naira every month. Even that alone doesn't make sense. So, but I, as far as I'm concerned, have never gone to any bank, local or foreign, to borrow 1 penny to do any project or pay anything. And that is the way it would be up to 20.
But in all the states that have taken out bonds will argue that this will help them to fast-track development. Yeah, well,
everybody has his own view. There's nothing wrong with taking loan. If people want to take loan, they can take it. If Shema didn't want to take loan, I didn't take it. And I told you my reason. My reason is, number one, the interest rate is cutthroat.
Yeah.
It's wicked to go and borrow money. I'm not saying those people are doing that wrong, but for me, I think it would be wicked on my part to go and borrow money and come and I can't even afford. What business will government do to generate 40% interest to pay banks? What is the source of income? Federation account?
Yes. Governors meet at governors forum. The northern governors meet at northern governors forum.
Yes.
Do you in any way exchange ideas?
Peer review.
Of course, we do.
Because it's amazing. Like I am resident in Kaduna, for example. Each time I travel to Katsina, Igawa, Kano, and come back, I kept wondering what is happening in Kaduna State. I mean, in terms of development, as far I stand to be corrected, since 2007, not a single block of flat has been built in Kaduna State. From 2007,
government, right?
By the government. So, I mean, do you exchange ideas? And if you do, why is it that we don't often see some of these things, work in some other states, especially those who share borders with each other?
Number one, I hardly want to talk about other states or other domains that are not my own. I simply talk about Katsina State. Number two is a matter of style and approach. Every individual has a way, even in our homes. The way she runs our home will not be the same as the way you run your home. Definitely. The same thing, and the same thing. So people have different approaches. You can see development in one area, in one state, you can see another development in another area. It's not that other states are not working well or are not working hard. They are. But there are others who have their own challenges peculiar to them. And it depends on what kind of challenge they are facing. And that explanation is best if it comes from the affected person.
Ismail talked about the Nigerian Governors Forum now, which reminds me, you wanted to be the chairman of Nigerian Governors Forum, a position which you eventually went to Governor Jonajang, or should I say Governor Jang and Governor Amechi. What needs to be done to get a unified Governors Forum, assuming that you believe that there is a continuing need for the Governors Forum?
The Governors Forum is a voluntary organization. It's a platform that is not governed by any law in Nigeria. And it is simply a consensus among governors to have a platform upon which they can relate, do peer review like you're talking about, and share ideas, and come together where the nation needs them to come together. They have demonstrated that in the past during late President Erdogan's sickness and all that. When the Governors Forum issue came up, a number of my colleagues approached me and asked me to run for the chairmanship of the forum. Then some intrigues and politics started playing out. And I went to the Northern Governors Forum. There was an agreement. There was a clear, any governor can tell that who want to be sincere. There was an understanding after the exit of Bukola Saraki that we studied the American system. Governor Fashola was part of the team that was sent to America to study the American National Governors Forum structure. And they came up with a recommendation that each governor will only serve for a term of 2 years once. And it will be between North and South. We had a clear understanding on that. Governor Amechi said he wanted to be chairman of forum. People really don't contest for this thing.
Yeah.
And we all agreed that Amechi can take it. And he took it with the understanding that he will serve for 2 years. After that, the northern governors will now produce a candidate.
Yeah.
When Amechi's tenure was coming to an end, I was approached by some of my colleagues that I should run for the office. I reluctantly accepted because, look, I don't have the jet to be flying from Katsina to Abuja every day. There is no special benefit for it. Yeah. It's just to offer yourself for service. So I agreed. At some stage, a lot of politics went in. People started running around in circles. And I was very clear. I said, look, if it is me, if you guys feel that even one of you doesn't want me to run, I don't want this office. Because it's a voluntary thing. It will take my energy, my focus, and my mind away from my responsibility in Katsina, which is my primary responsibility. So if anybody wants it, so be it. We sat down at Northern Governors Forum meeting and we agreed that they should nominate one person because it's their task to produce. I told them, nominate anybody you want. I'll support him. And I even left the place where they did the nomination. I came back and they told me they nominated John. I said, so be it. For us to go to the venue where we are going to do this election, and for some governors to now jack out and say, no, they want to support a bench. And I stood up and spoke at that point in time. I said, look, if you insist on going through election, this governors forum will die forever. Yeah, because it's a voluntary organization. Yeah. You can't force anybody. It's a situation like that. If you hold election, those who say we want A, those who say they want B, will never come back together. Yeah. Because you can't force them to come back. It's not by our constitution, it's not in Nigerian constitution. So that is how the governors forum thing crashed. And frankly speaking, the governors forum has always provided a veritable tool. But you know, governors generally, I don't know what was the reason, but Nigerians want to talk about governors all the time. They are saying governors have constituted themselves into trade union groups, pressure groups, pressurizing government. Governors forum are going too powerful. So at the end of the day, the absence of the governors forum created a huge gap, a huge void in the Nigerian political structure today.
Would you say that the governors played into the hands of some powers that didn't want the governors forum to be in the first place for that very reason that you talked about? It was considered too powerful, it was getting too powerful. Some people thought it was constituting itself into a trade union and pressuring the federal government to do things.
Well, whatever happened has happened. What I keep saying is there was a gentleman agreement that Amechi should serve for a term of 2 years and he should return to the north. So we should hold ourselves responsible, not anybody.
But once
what eventually happened in the
once the elections were agreed upon, I'm assuming it was agreed upon before people went into elections, what did it say about the governors and the polity itself that 16 was considered greater than 19? Look, by some people.
Look, 16, 19 doesn't matter. What matters is that we went into a process that we never used to go before. Election. There was never ever election at governors forum. Ask any governor, he will tell you that. Because it's a voluntary thing. Usually we just have a consensus. We say, okay, this section will have it. Go produce one person. You take it. But that particular occasion, people just brought in a lot of politicking into it, a lot of running around, and at the end of the day, see where it got us. And a lot of public spirited individuals and leaders of this country made an effort to bring us back together. President Obasanjo, he called us and sat with us and asked us to go amend fences. But people just dug into their positions. At the end of the day, there's no governance forum. They became factionalized like this labor union or Gani Adams faction. And it's not good. It's not good. So we are the architects of our own problem. I'm not exonerating myself. All of us collectively, made the mistake.
So what would you suggest as a way forward for the incoming, or at least most of you who were part of the problem are going?
They should adopt the same procedure if they want to set up a governance forum. Okay. They should allow consensus to reign. They should design a program in a manner that one governor can come from like the American structure. Yep. One governor can come from the north, and what is the north? 19 northern states can sit and nominate one person and say this will be the person. And if it's from the south, all the southern states should sit and say this will be the person. And in the north and the south, there are structures. Yep. For example, the south, southeast, southwest, northeast, northwest, north central. So when we were doing this, Bukola Saraki was from north central. So he held office for 4 years. Now, north central too, at our level in the northern zone, northern region, 19 northern states, Babangida Aliyu, governor of Niger from north central, is still holding the Northern Governors Forum. So they felt it should go to northeast or northwest. And then northeast was settled for. That is how my name came in. Yep. And I didn't go to say I was looking for Governors Forum chairman. Anyway, my colleagues felt, they wanted me to go there and handle this. And I tried, to go along with the demand of my colleagues. I had to respect for them. Not because I was crazy about being chairman Governors Forum. So, but what my advice is generally is that the incoming crop of leadership, the governors, should now structure this properly from takeoff. That okay, we want from takeoff, this zone is given to produce a chairman, and they should design a simple system of rotation. If it goes to the south, let's say southwest or south will produce the current chairman of the forum. and then it goes back to the north,